Hey everyone, welcome to the channel, or if you are a returning viewer, then welcome. I'm glad you guys are here. This is our watch list for Tuesday, December 6th. I can't believe we are in December already, approaching the end of the year. We're going to have yearly watch lists out. For today, though, this is, like I said, our watch list for Tuesday. I put these lists out for you guys every single day for free for your guys' benefit to show you and for you guys to look at what you could possibly jump into in the morning. So we're going to get through this list right away here. I want to go through a few things before we get started. You can find me on Twitter at Mr. Clark Griswold. You can ask me questions there. You can DM me there. You can do the same thing in my Discord. So I started a Discord, the Griswold Trading Discord. That link is in the description below. And if you guys go into that Discord, everything that I offer for free or fee-based is in that Discord. There's merchandise. There's Griswold Gold memberships, which gives you one-on-one access to myself. It gives you a 1-hour Strat course that I've created for you guys. It includes the Strat indicator that I've created for you guys. All the Strat indicators wrapped into one for TradingView. It includes live trading bots on SPY in one room, and in another room it's got NEO, QQQ, I think Apple, CCL, DIA, a bunch of tickers that are in there for you guys to actually get live trades set up so you guys don't have to go searching for them. They come right to you guys. So that's part of the Griswold Gold membership. You get a top 5 out of the playlist that we go through every day. I put those out to the Griswold Gold memberships and a bunch of other really great stuff. So make sure you guys check that out in the Discord. The last thing I want to go through here is this screen that you guys see in front of you. This is TradingView. That's how I chart everything. That's how I show you guys everything that I do. If you're looking for a platform like this, it's really important to have to be able to chart everything that you do, to put in your triggers, your targets, etc. If you're looking for something like this, then you can go into the link in the description below, and I've got a free 30-day trial for the subscription-based services on TradingView. Now, they do have free options, but this link down below is for you guys to try out their subscription-based service, free for 30 days, no obligations. And then if you decide to use that sub-service, you get up to $30 off of that subscription service. But you need to start by clicking on that link in the description below. Let's get started on this watch list, guys. There are going to be ads rolling through. I thank you guys in advance and appreciate you guys letting those ads roll through. Go get a drink, go get a snack, come back. Those ads pay for this stuff to be free. It pays for my time to put out these videos for you guys, which does take a lot of time. I love doing it, but it does pay for my time and it pays for your guys' education. First one on the list, we've got Apple, AAPL. So earlier today, we talked about how if we triggered the day, we would trigger the week and possibly the 2-week. Well, we triggered the day. We opened here. We triggered the day. Then we triggered the week, which is this pink line. And we trended really, really well. So if you would have taken this, is one of our top 5 plays that I give out to the Griswold Gold members. If you would have taken this trade, you would have done really, really well on it. But you needed to be able to manage that trade and cut that trade when you hit your targets or when the candlestick stopped you out. And if you don't know how to do that stuff, I've got a ton of videos. At the end of this video, I will put a playlist together for you guys. You can go check out that playlist. There's going to be a bunch of trade reviews on it. Okay, so that playlist will show you how to manage your trades. This is exactly what you should have done on this trade in order to take profit, because it did trend back down. So now we had that 2 up that finished red. And the two candles, you see the numbers down there? That's part of the indicator that I created. Now, what we get is a 2 up that finished red. So a 2 candle only breaks one side of the previous candle. So this candle only broke to the upside of the previous candle, but we did finish red. So when we have that, the 2 ups that are red, we look for this to trend back to the downside. Now, I'm not saying that that's going to happen. We might trend back to the upside. I don't know, but we play probabilities. Every trade, every strategy that you look at that you're a part of is based off of probabilities. There's nothing 100%. No one knows for sure. Everything is based off of strong probabilities and possibilities. And that's what we're looking at here. And again, the best traders are the ones who manage their risk the best when it goes against those probabilities and those possibilities. So we're going to look for triggers here at 145.77 and first targets at 145.65. Now, I'm going to talk about this early. I talk about it very often. But a lot of times what happens is, let's say we open up right here, okay, and we trend down. Okay, we've trended down, and maybe not even that far. Let's say we just come to there, okay. Now, a lot of times what happens is I'm going to take this magnet off. And we'll draw one more here. A lot of times what happens is we'll trend down and then we'll come back up and we'll start trending back up this way. And we'll never see that target again. Okay, so pretend that's the wick there, that purple line. I'll zoom in for you guys. We hit that target and we reverse. So you guys need to be prepared that if we hit that target and reverse back through it, you need to take your profit. And I'll always tell you guys, I don't care if that profit's 500% or 5%. Take the profit. I'm not saying this trade doesn't have the potential to go further down on this trade into this range here, but if it doesn't, because a lot of times, again, we hit those targets and we reverse, you'll never see that target again. I'm just telling you guys to be cautious, but that is a setup for Apple. We're going to move on to CCL. That's Carnival Cruise Lines. CCL had a 2-up that finished red as well. A little bit more magnitude here, which is what I like to see. We can look for puts at 963. First target at 945, and we've got full time frame continuity to the downside outside of this quarterly. Okay, so the majority is in our favor if this trends to the downside. And if you're looking for what I would play off of this, I'm taking Friday expiry, and my strike price would be 950. Okay, move on to MU. That's Micron Technology. MU, same thing. No, Micron Technology had a inside bar, so an inside bar or a 1 bar. Okay, inside bars, they don't break the high. They do not break the low of the previous candle. They stay within that range. It's a tightening range. And when you see this yellow candle, that's part of the Griswold Strat indicator, as is this white outside bar candle. But when you see the yellow, I want you guys to think of a spring. This is for the new people, because everybody who's been with me knows about the inside bars already. And if you're struggling or you're new, I tell you to concentrate on these inside bars, these 1 bars. So when you see that yellow bar, think of a spring in your mind. Think of a spring being squished down, compacted. And when you release that spring, almost like a shock, when you release it, you're expecting an explosion up to one side or the other. And that's what we look for. So this one gapped, but we had a really big run to the upside. If we go back and look again, really big run for 4 days to the upside. This one ended up being an outside bar. This one ended up being an outside bar. This one opened, and we didn't have a big run, but it was a run good enough for a win on that trade. So I like to go back in time and show you guys this because they don't always work the way we want them to work, but we're playing the probabilities. And you notice here there's a gap, okay? If these plays gap up in the morning, you guys don't know what a morning gap is, I'm going to show you real quick. Let's say we open up Tuesday morning like this. That's a gap. See? There's no candlestick in between here and here. That's a gap. At the end of this video, I'm going to put a gap playlist together for you guys. That will show you how to play these setups if we gap down below or above in the morning, okay? So calls at 55.27, puts at 53.70. If you're looking for where I'm getting those numbers, you follow this yellow line across the screen to the end. 55.27. 53.70. This 54.04 is where we closed right here. Move on to Uber. Uber Technologies, 2-up, finished red. Time frame continuity to the downside. We're looking for puts at 27.65. First target at 27.20. XLU with an inside bar, and we can call that a shooter candle or a inverse hammer. I'd like to see this body a little bit further down, but it's an actionable signal. A shooter candle, an inside bar candle, or a hammer candle. A hammer candle has this big body at the top with the wick at the bottom. So either way we want to play it, it is telling us it's more likely to trend down, but again, we're basing it off of probabilities, and it's just as likely to go up. Okay? So calls at 70.9, puts at 70.36. Your targets are shown there for you guys. We move on to Cisco. Cisco with the inside bar setup. Calls at 49.64, puts at 49.17, and the targets marked out for you guys on that one. DocuSign. Well, I think DocuSign probably shouldn't have been on here, but if you want to look for a 2-2 continuation, That's what you'd be looking at. Okay, trigger there, and we just go back in time to find that target. The next lowest preceding wick. Okay, so we have a gap. This is a good one. So we have a gap play here, meaning we're trying to fill this gap from here to here. There's no candle there. So when this candle comes down, we fill that gap. We take the top of that gap fill, okay? And that becomes your first target. Then your next target would become the bottom of that candle again, okay? So if you're looking for the continuation on DocuSign, time frame continuity in your favor to the downside, puts at $42.30. BIDU 2 up red, we can call that a shooter candle or a inverted hammer. Puts at 116.43, and we just talked about this, okay? There's a gap, so the first target becomes that gap fill. The next target comes down right here. We can call that a target. We can call that magnitude. We can say that's where the bulls have their stop losses. They all mean the same thing. 3-1 setup on Chewy. So as we go and we'll put the targets here, bottom and bottoms and tops. And that is actually the high on both those candles is exactly the same. So we're going to move this target to here. And again, it's not much of a difference, but that's the setup. So we can take calls at 45.63, puts at 43.31. That gold bar that you guys see there is also part of the indicator that I created. So it basically highlights the 3-1 setups. It's a rare setup. It doesn't happen very often. And they tend to do, probability-wise, very, very well. Here's the last 3-1 it had. We triggered, and we ran up for 4 straight days. Funny enough, to that broadening formation. Okay, the 3-1 before that, we ended up going outside bar. Okay, we opened, came up, and reversed. That's how you manage your trades. You got out of the trade. A little bit of a win, a little bit of a loss. Depends how you risk manage. But the 3-1 setups, again, tend to do very well. And so that's exactly what we have on Chewy. We'll move on to Etsy, ETSY, 2 up, finished red. So puts on Etsy at 135.89 and the first target at 135.42. Fubo had a 2 up red, shooter candle, inverse hammer, whatever you want to call it. Full time frame continuity. 1 penny separates this, okay, from the trigger to the target. Again, just be cautious. Make sure if you are playing this, be cautious, but your next target has a little bit more meat on it. So again, be cautious, manage your trades accordingly. Triggers and target set on the higher time frame, you manage the trade on the lower time frame, okay? That's a little bit of insight on what you will see on that playlist at the end of this video. Fubo to GE, General Electric. So GE has another 3-1 setup, outside bar, inside bar, golden highlight, trigger at 86.05 for the calls, and puts can be triggered at 84.62, and the first target's marked out. Now we have this pink line here for the weekly. We are looking to go 2 up on the week, but again, the stock market's going to do what it does. We'll see how the week plays out on GE. We might end up staying inside bar on the week. Coca-Cola, 2 down green. Time frame continuity looks really, really great to the upside. I'm going to move this target down here. I don't know how far back that goes. There we go. First target, top of that outside bar. Good magnitude. Calls at 63.80. Put targets at 64.52. I'm taking a 64 strike price on Coca-Cola if I'm jumping into this one. Netflix. Netflix usually has higher premiums, but we have a 2 up. Finishing red, we'll look for puts at 310.92. First target at 310 even. Next target marked out at 303. Nike, NKE, 3-1 setup again. Outside bar, inside bar. Calls at 111.13. I really like Nike on this one. It probably will be on my top 5. The one thing I would warn you guys is the spread between the bid and the ask is usually far apart on Nike. And what I mean by that is if you go to look at even an option play or a common share, there's a price that if you buy a limit order, you pick what you want. If you buy market order, you're buying at the ask price, okay? Limit order, you can pick anywhere between the bid and the ask, above it, below it, doesn't matter. So when I'm looking at my trades, and a lot of these trades that I give for you guys, the spreads are always fairly tight because that's what I like to play. If the spread is any more than 5%, like if we're looking at the bid as $1 and the ask is $1.05, I'm probably not getting into that play because I buy market order, and if I do that, I'm 5% out already. I'm at a 5% loss going into that trade. So trades like tickers like SPY and NEO and QQQ and CCL Ford, they have tight spreads. So it would be like $1 and $1.01, $1 for the bid, $1.01 for the ask, or a couple pennies. And I'm okay with that because I buy market order and I sell market order. And if you guys want to know more about that, feel free to ask me about it in the Discord or comment section down below, and I will answer that for you guys. But let's go back and look at the last 3-1 we had on Nike. It was back in October, 3-1, and we went outside bar. So we triggered both sides. The bottom side hit the targets, the top side did not. If we go look one more time at a previous setup on Nike, this one gapped up. So again, they don't always work, guys. But again, if it gaps, I've got you covered at the end of this video, like I said, with that gap playlist. So calls at 111.13, puts at 109.19 on Nike. Procter & Gamble also has that same 3-1 setup. So calls at 149.67, puts at 148.27. We'll look for targets here at the top at 150.77. Good magnitude for Procter & Gamble. From Procter & Gamble, we go to Starbucks with this tight little inside bar off of this big outside bar. So again, I'll give you another tidbit here. This one will also be on my top 5 play just because this inside bar is quite small, and we're going to look for that big break off of it. So calls at 104.24, puts at 103, and good magnitude to both sides. Good time frame continuity to the upside. If we go check out on the weekly chart, where are we on the weekly? We're looking to go 2-up continuation. That's what we're closer to. So that's our first target. So if we hit first targets on this trade, on the day trade, first targets trigger the 2-up on the weekly. It's a domino effect. I've talked about this on the last couple videos. And that's a list, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys are giving me a thumbs up. Subscribe and hit the bell. The bell gives you the notifications for when I put these videos out every single day. It'll send you the note saying, yep, the video's out. Come and watch it. Thank you guys very much. Make sure you check out the playlist that I've put together for you guys at the end of this video on gaps and how to manage your trades. Good luck trading on Tuesday, guys, and we will see you all on the next one. Bye-bye.